Hey folks, it's us, podcasting wonderkins John Bishop and Lucas Southworth.
Although this is a podcast about cars, it is not age appropriate for the target demographic of these films, as we usually end up talking about the reproductive organs of Lightning McQueen.
Alright, now let's take a look under the hood.
Hello, and welcome to the Chat, the only podcast brave enough to ask the questions, hey, what's up with cars? And the like. I'm John Bishop.
And I'm Lucas Southworth, and I want to say, John, that was maybe your least necessary adjustment to the opening spiel ever. You just made question plural and said, and the like.
Yeah.
Is it even relate? Were you trying to relate it to the topic, or did you just feel like you needed to do something different?
This could be revisionist history.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
But we are doing a special episode with the possibility of many, many topics and questions. It's much more likely that I said questions and I was like, oh no, why did I say the plural? We only ask one question.
Well, that's fair, John. I do want to say, man, it's awful generous to call this a special episode. I'm excited about this episode. It seems fun. But
Just like weird doesn't mean bad, special doesn't necessarily mean good.
yes, or it doesn't mean has had a particularly large amount of thought or effort put into it. Certainly not. Because this week, folks, we came in empty-handed. We dropped the ball on this one, folks. We said, let's record an episode, and then we got to recording time, and we thought, we didn't pick a topic, did we? So,
Yeah.
Now let me be clear, we haven't fully run out of topics. I've got some ideas floating around of, like, dumb stuff we can watch and react to, or things like that, but those all require, like, prior work to the episode that we just quite frankly didn't do.
Yeah.
So, this week we're doing what I am gently calling a Lightning McQueen round, in which, folks, I just got a random topic generator up, and I'm going to click it, and it's going to give us words, and we're going to say, okay, it gave us table. Would tables be different in cars? And we're just going to try our hardest and go from there.
All right.
And I feel like to fully honor this episode, we should neither stretch them out longer than they need to be or shorten them for any reason. Like if the first one just blows our mind and we spend the whole episode on that, perfect. But if the first one is table and we think, tables, they're probably there. Probably pretty similar. Yeah, yep. Maybe a little lower or higher. We can move on. Sound good to you, John?
Yep.
All right. Let's go over to, gotta credit, you know I love saying URLs, thestoryshack.com/tools/random topic generator. I'm going to go ahead and click Get Ideas. And the first one is bananas. God, this is a stupid episode.
We've seen lemons.
We have.
So we know peelable fruits are a thing.
Yeah. Bananas, I think, would be... You're right that peelable fruit's a thing. Bananas are even more delicate under the peel. And more... Like, you don't just cut a banana in half like you could a lemon, you know?
Well, we do that.
You can do that, but, like, most people when eating a banana don't cut it through the center and squeeze out the goo.
Oh, that's not how you're supposed to do it?
Now that would be interesting. Okay, I
It's
may have afternoon plans now.
it's like a Go-Gurt.
Disgusting. Uh, but I guess that would be how they had to eat them, right? Like,
Or it's more of a game. You and your friend are going to eat bananas together. So you get on one side of the room, and your friend just slowly runs over it. And since it's a cartoon world, instead of it just getting squashed,
it'll shoot
it
out
shoots
perfectly
out.
formed. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I like that. Yeah. Uh, they could also go straight like Griffin McElroy. Just
Yeah,
they
just
care not for the peel.
maybe even they love the peel.
Yeah, that's the only way they're like. How else could we eat it?
It's food I eat. What do you mean I shouldn't eat the whole thing?
Yeah, I dig that. Now
Now, for a
banana
car,
peels.
though, it works so much better because their mouths are much bigger.
Yeah, it would sort of just be like almost like a little candy that's like a little tough on the outside and chewy on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
or
The
like soft on
opposite
the
of what I
inside.
just had.
Yeah.
I had a lozenge, and it was weirdly soft on the outside.
Huh. That doesn't sound appealing to me. Banana appealing, that is.
Haha.
Speaking of, there have to have been a scene where someone slipped on a banana peel in this. It's somewhere in here, I feel like.
Probably,
Probably in one
but
of the Cars tunes, if I had to
yeah,
guess.
I can't think of it.
Yeah.
And it does make me want to ask the question, are bananas seen as dangerous?
Hmm. Because they'd be so slippy,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a world where slippiness is obscenely dangerous.
Yeah, it
Okay.
seems far more catastrophic.
Yeah, especially since they do go by cartoon logic, as we have just described. Like
Mm-hmm.
in the real world, no, it'd be pretty much fine. It'd be like driving over anything really that's could slip a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But in cartoon world, these things have to be deadly.
Yep. Because, like, you've seen Mario Kart.
I
You played
have.
it. And what happens when you throw a banana at your friend?
They deftly dodge it and then hit me with a red shell, usually. But if they hit it, then they spin out and crash.
See, for me, it's they somehow get me to hit it.
Yeah,
And then I nearly die.
yeah, that does happen a lot for me in Mario Kart. I'll throw down like a fake item block or a banana peel, and then no one will hit it, and I'll be the next lap I will hit it
Mm-hmm.
because and that makes a certain amount of sense to me, because like
Yeah.
you take the same path,
Mm-hmm.
so you drop it right behind you, it would be right in the path that you would take.
Yep. Which, very, very rough. I know there's a way to throw it that's like, oh, I'm going to throw it away from where I am. But, like, then you're just going to miss and throw it off the edge.
Usually, do we feel like we have uh, squeezed all of the banana Go-Gurt style out of the subject of banana?
Um, one more thing.
Okay.
Is potassium a concern?
I think we'd
Do
have
they
to
get Charlie horses?
zoom out and say, are vitamins a concern to answer that,
Mm-hmm.
Which I would say, yeah. I mean, the obvious joke is iron,
Yeah.
which I imagine they would both get a lot of and need a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, I would think they would need like some potassium, and like cramps would be a thing since it's shown that racing causes like physical exertion. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get the shakes if you're old.
Yeah, man. You sure do. Next one.
All right.
Laundry.
Laundry. This one, I'm guessing, is going to be real quick
Yeah.
because their clothes is their skin and they just get repainted.
Yeah, that was basically my thought. My only thing I wanted to dive into a little bit
How
are
do they take
like,
their clothes off?
well, now I have two things. But I was more thinking like the sort of like explicitly, definitely clothes, usually hats we see. And I
Mm.
know you usually don't wear hats, or you usually don't wash hats. But
But
I,
if you got a nice hat and some mud gets on it, what do you
yes.
do?
And I imagine that'd be more of a concern in a world where you can go 80 miles an hour, you know?
Mm-hmm. Because those bugs, they get caked in.
They really do. Now, okay, this is a bit off subject from it, but a lot of them wear hats and they're not like several of them have little straps of the hats, but a lot of them don't.
Mm-hmm.
So like are they attached or do they just fly off when they start going down the highway? Or do they
I
just not wear them
imagine
on the highway?
it's like a beauty is pain sort of situation where if you have something that is loosely on you, it's just you can't go fast.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
just have decided that today is a day for being slow.
I like that because I could definitely see they're not going to show Mater like running into someone's hat and it like pulls them with it, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
if it would Mater would knock off the hat with his hook that he doesn't know how to control is would be the joke.
Unless,
Okay,
unless it's funny.
unless it's funny. It would be funny, but it would also be a bit grotesque, which doesn't necessarily mean they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, in fact, I feel like it being funny and grotesque is a good reason for them to do it.
That's true. Yeah.
Just like one of our favorite characters.
Yep. Celine Defair. We've done our mention of Celine.
Mm-hmm.
Check. That's the headlight car, the
Yep.
one that scares us. Uh, but if they are attached, are they temporarily attached or are they like permanently attached? Would you say?
It's probably like a hairpin situation where, like, oh, it's just like you got a bobby pin in, and it's uh, you just remove the bobby pin, it comes off. Maybe it's a magnet. Maybe all hats are magnets.
Ooh, I do like that. I was thinking maybe like they have something like a roof rack
Mm-hmm.
situation where they can just like slot it in and so it's not like glued down or nailed in or anything. They can slot it in and out,
Mm,
uh,
okay.
much like those. Because like we do see, I think Van, the
Mm-hmm.
minivan has like a roof rack storage thing,
Yeah.
so that's a thing. Sure, but they would need to wash them. Let's okay. We've gotten off of our lightning McQueen round topic. We've got to get back to laundry. How would they wash the hats?
Well, in a world where clothing is few and far between, I imagine that it's the consumerism can't be all gone, right? So, what if that's just a it's dirty, you throw it away?
Mm, I could see that. Yeah. It also it for some reason that feels very Cars to me.
Mm-hmm.
I could also see you saying it's a very consumerist world made me think since clothing is so rare, no one would have the machinery or ability to do it themselves. So maybe there's a specialty service, you know?
Mm-hmm. You got
Uh,
yourself a Maru.
yeah, like a dry cleaners, but like they're seen as a bit elevated from that since it's such a niche like profession in this world,
Mm-hmm.
and they also have to wash giant hats with no hands.
Yeah. What if it's just red? What if fire trucks don't actually like fight fires most of the time? They just hose down people's clothes.
I would like that.
Like, it could be that.
Could be that. Do we want to expand this into personal hygiene? Like, how do they shower and whatnot? Or
Well,
do we feel like that's a bit off topic?
I feel like the answer for how do they shower is just car washes,
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
but that also implies that their showers are all very public.
Very public, and they take, I don't know, a minute and a half. They're very intensive, I'd say, too. But
Mm-hmm.
they could just keep the hat on, I guess. Two
I
birds, one
mean,
stone.
you get it in the wrong like spinny thing, and then all of a sudden you've lost your hat, though.
I'd be devastated. Those gotta cost a lot, right?
I don't know. What else are they buying? So maybe they're the only thing, so they're the most expensive.
Yeah, I could dig that. I feel like we have squeezed all the last drops out of the topic of laundry. I'm going to
Hmm.
try to do that every time. I'm going to try to make a pun each time
But
about
was
it.
the pun not also squeezed for
Yeah,
banana?
yeah, but like, I don't know, man. Okay, the spin cycle has ended. The dryer has dinged. Laundry's done. How about that?
Ding dong, the laundry's done.
Bada bing. So we're going on to tobacco,
Oh
which
no.
I feel like we've done alcohol. I feel like we've done drugs. I don't think we've done like just smoking or chewing dip. You know?
Well, let's talk about it. There's a character who would be very into dip. It's Mater.
Yeah, I was thinking Mater. I mean,
Uh,
God bless
what
him. Look at his
does
teeth.
what does dip do? It messes up your mouth,
Yeah,
and it makes you a gross boy. If you do dip and you feel personally insulted, good. So tobacco is something very popular in Kentucky,
yeah.
and I don't know if they've been in Kentucky.
They've been in Tennessee,
Yeah.
so maybe they had to pass through it. We'll say that.
Okay. If they've passed through Kentucky, what are they gonna do? They're gonna see horses? Probably not. Those are just, I guess, tractor trailer bed things. I don't
That's
know.
that is what we've said, I guess.
Yep. So like, there's that. There's bourbon, and there's tobacco. So tobacco is bad, guys. It's just bad. Like,
It
what are the
really,
positives?
really is in a world where marijuana is outlawed and tobacco isn't. Feels strange.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, I guess there is some sort of benefit. I don't know what it is because people like it. Again, not sure why. I've heard that there's a buzz to it, but like, there's a buzz to other things that aren't as bad for you.
yeah, but a car would smoke just by putting it in their mouth, I guess. But they could all there's something with their air filter that I'm not quite getting to. Maybe it
Well,
would just ruin it.
have you not seen the fun build a things where people take a bunch of cigarettes, cut off the butts, and make car filters out of it?
I haven't. That seems like an insane thing to do.
It's they're just filters, so it works.
That does seem kind of fun to watch. I am into those kind of videos. So, okay, what I'm getting to with that, since cigarettes have filters on them, maybe in this world cigarettes don't, but they attach them directly to their air filter.
Mm,
Is that anything?
I hope not, but yeah.
That feels more like vaping to me. If
Mm.
it's like attached to them mechanically, you know?
I mean, sure, but there are like mechanical and digital ways of ingesting tobacco. But vaping is specifically like water vapor, which
Yeah,
is why it's completely fine for you to do it in, a building right next to and under a fire alarm that will go off.
yeah, for real. Don't do that. Yeah, I don't have too much on this one. Like it I don't feel like it'd be that different. It would harm them in similar ways that it harms us. Be ingested in similar ways, it'd be harvested in similar ways. I don't have much more, do you?
Don't don't tobacco, guys. Don't tobacco.
Don't. It's so hard to stop. Uh
It's designed to be.
yeah, and that sucks. Our
Hmm.
next word, oh wait. And that was our last puff on the tobacco topic. So we are going over to okay. This one just says this is just the word theory. That's the whole podcast. Moving on. 2.
No, we gotta do it.
Okay.
All right. We have to come up with a theory about cars that we have not come up with.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
All right. So I've seen a little bit of Lightyear.
Hell yeah.
I can't spoil it, but okay.
You've
A
chosen a
major
weird
part
route.
a major part of the movie is that there are just a lot of robots. Maybe Buzz Lightyear is a prequel, but it can't be because guess what? At the very beginning of the movie, spoiler alert, it's the first thing they show. Uh, Buzz Lightyear or Lightyear is a movie within a movie.
I mean, we could pack that. I assume it's like Andy going to the theater and whatnot.
Not
And
even. It's
okay,
lazier than that. It's the movie begins with in 1995. A kid named Andy had his mother buy him a toy of Buzz Lightyear based on his favorite movie. This is that movie.
uh, that is lazy. Uh, but I mean, we could wrap it in as a nice addendum to our Toy Story theory, which doesn't change anything about our Toy Story theory, so I don't think it really counts.
Well, there's also something confusing because we know that in the Cars world, everything else is a movie.
Yeah, that's true. So Lightyear would be a movie within a movie within a movie then
Mm-hmm.
in Cars.
Yep.
Huh. I'm okay. I'm having trouble wrapping my brain around that.
So Toy Story
Yeah.
is a movie in Cars.
Toy car story. Yeah.
Toy Car Story.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Lightyear because Lightyear's already a tire brand.
Yeah, like that's but maybe it's a tie-in to maybe Lightyear's a huge success.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it just came out. If
Maybe
it's
it's
a movie
Lightyear's.
within Toy Car Story, then it would have been, if we want to do that, then it would be based on Buzz Lightyear from Toy Car Story, not Buzz Lightyear from Lightyear.
Well, the problem is that that's the same, except maybe he's just a tire.
Yeah.
He's a space tire.
Yeah, I could get behind that. Why not?
But as we've discussed, future means no tires.
That does, yeah. And we have seen what a toy version of Buzz Lightyear looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little toy car that looks vaguely like Buzz Lightyear.
But I'm guessing that one of the differences is, and I have no reason to say this because in the movie Lightyear, he's just a human. Maybe he only has tires or wheels as a toy because he's a toy. You know how, like, his wings don't work.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That's somewhere in there is our Lightyear theory, and
Mm-hmm.
now we're going light years away from that to I meant to click it before this and I didn't. Oh, there's an ad, and we are going to frogs.
Frogs. All
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
Well, as we all know, frogs are weird, loud boys.
Yes.
We also know that vehicles sometimes are weird, loud boys, specifically when people want them to be and remove the sound dampening
Okay, yeah.
or the sound muffling.
Mm.
So, frogs are clearly just people who have been altered physically.
Now, okay, you've lost me a little bit here. I could see people modifying themselves to become more like frogs, but I
Okay.
don't think frogs are just basically what you've said is if we zoom out, look at it for humans, you've said frogs are people who have made their voice boxes sound like frogs.
Yeah, but here's the reason that that's obviously true.
Okay.
In our world, we have so many just develop stories and mythos about people being frogs. Transfogrification.
if you will.
So maybe that's just a holdover, except far more literal in their world.
Okay, sure. You've gone sort of the Princess and the Frog route here. I see,
Mm-hmm.
or the Frog Prince, if we want to get away from Disney a little bit. Sure. I just googled the words "jumping car toy," and there are several that I'm looking at here. So
Mm-hmm.
my theory is it's one of these.
Okay.
It's like a toy car that jumps, and it's got to be able to go in the water.
Yep.
Okay, how would you Google that? Aquatic jumping toy car? That can't be the word.
Aquarius.
Amphibious? Let's try that. John, how do you spell amphibious?
AMF, not F, PHIBIOUS.
Sick. Now, amphibia. There are amphibious car toys.
Mm-hmm. But can they jump?
Sure. They put a bunch of shocks and springs into them. I think we either. I don't
Are they
think
mini
they're.
fork trucks? Because they got to have the tongue.
Mm. See, I see them more as like tow trucks, like Mater. The hook reads
Oh,
more
that's
as
what
the
I
tongue.
meant. I
Okay,
said fork because I just instinctually say fork truck
that's just
whenever
our
I'm
go-to
talking about
theory.
cars. Yeah.
Yeah. Is now how can we put the pitties into this? Uh, but yeah, I could see that. I like the tongue. Okay, so we're building quite the creature here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so it's got massive shocks,
Yeah.
and can just do that with the hydraulics that you see on the videos on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a tow truck hook
In
and
its mouth.
in its mouth, horrifying, uh, and is just an amphibious car. Do we want it to be like? Do you know those like duck boat cars?
I've heard the term before.
Yeah, you can in like big cities. They're like tourist traps that you can go and they drive straight into the water, and then you're in the
Mm-hmm.
water. And they give you little things that are little duck calls, and you make a bunch of noise and annoy your parents. So it's a duck boat with a hook in its mouth that when just massive shocks and hydraulics.
Yep.
I'm kind of in love with this creature we've created.
Yep. It's terrifying, but it's pretty great.
I'm imagining it like because it eats bugs.
Do we
I'm
think ducks are just duck boats?
100%, 110%. That's the easiest decision we've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to fly. Oh God, no, no, no. Uh, they got jet turbines.
Yep. They just spin that propeller on the back real fast.
Yes. Now that's the official statement. But frogs, when they catch like the vroom around us bugs, the which are the only bugs I think we've seen,
The
I'm
only
just
one that we have a name for.
at the very least, I'm imagining just the horror of like the hook absolutely piercing them entirely and the mechanics spraying everywhere. Like that's sort of horrifying. I
Yep.
kind of really like this frog we've made.
Mm-hmm. Um. So, Lucas, you see one of these out in the real world.
Yeah, I run away. Is that the question?
Do you think
Ah,
the hook? Okay, so like with frogs, I don't exactly know how the tongue stick to thing,
sure.
but we know how hooks stick to thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, man.
It go inside.
Yeah,
I don't know how to ask this. Is there any escaping?
I'm not sure they're like if you get hit by it, I don't think so.
Because you run and that hook, it's just staying in you, and then like you're pulling it along. That's the best you can hope for.
Yeah, I'm starting to imagine less of a tow truck hook, which would be more cars, and more of a fishing hook, like with the barb on it that makes it impossible to pull out for the animal.
Hmm.
Like it's less themed towards cars because it's not a tow truck hook, but it is more horrific. So I'm gonna go with that. Or maybe it's just a tow truck hook that is very very sharp and has a barb. Because it
Hmm.
would have to be strong enough to pierce a tiny car.
Now, what if it's like an arrowhead?
Horrifying, but go on.
It's just, instead of it being a hook, it's just like a jagged piece of metal that has barbs again and just goes straight in, and that's it.
You're imagine. I'm trying to remember. Is ballista the word I'm thinking of? Yes, it is. Like the giant crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of what I'm imagining now. That or like a harpoon, And
Yep.
harpoons are often on boats for murdering whales and
Yep.
whatnot.
So that's just its tongue. It's just got a ballista on it.
Oh God, what have we wrought? But let's hop on away from that one, John, and hop over to our next lily pad, which is, oh man, bereavement.
All right. So we already know that we live in a world that is ridiculous when it comes to the idea of uh you have to work until you die, and that's just expected.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that sometimes we just give cars a general pass of like, well, it's got to be better than our world. I think this is one of those times where it's like, hey, if you can't make it to work because you're sad because someone has passed, that's fine. We don't ask any questions that are invasive. We make sure that you're okay, and that's it.
Mm. Yeah, I'm willing to do that. Like, as much as we make the Cars verse into a horrific hellscape, as it should be,
Mm-hmm.
like, when it comes down to it, it is mostly portrayed as a lot of kind people trying their best.
Yep. Which I can't say for this world. I wish I could.
On my optimistic days, I think that's a lot of what this world is, and there are just a minority of very bad people who are much louder than the kind ones.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've made myself sad, and I guess my bereavement leave is over. That one wasn't my favorite. Chess.
You After we've already killed our hopes
Oh,
for a better
Jesus.
world, our bereavement is done.
Chess is the next one.
All right. Well, chess can clearly only be played by fork trucks.
Yeah, like this one's, I feel, a pretty simple, just one of their hands situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh, there's a piece named after me still, so that's fun.
That's fun. Oh, I wanted to. I saw this the other day. You know the character Bishop from the X-Men?
Mm-hmm.
You know his first name's Lucas Bishop?
I believe I did know that.
It's us.
It's us, except the one difference.
Except he is a black man from the future. I understand.
Oh no, he's a mutant.
And a mutant. Who was not very well represented in the movie he was in, I'll say.
Oh no, they did this thing where they specifically show his power.
Yeah.
He absorbs and transforms energy. And then they ruined it by killing him with energy.
Yeah, they're like, but what if it was too much energy? Which is the exact same thing they did with Darwin.
Yeah, the other black man that
Yeah.
they had. A cool character that they just killed off by saying, but what if too much?
Yeah, like I'm not the biggest Bishop fan. He's sort of just like a time cop,
Mm-hmm.
and like he's very cop-y. Uh, but like, come on. They also
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna get too much into it. They just made his power a gun. which is the most boring way you could represent Bishop in my head. But
Yeah, it's Gambit except worse
yeah,
in like every way. Uh, what does Gambit do? He charges things with kinetic energy and can make them explode. Um, Key difference: he makes the energy, whereas Bishop has to take it from something else, and then he converts it. And for some reason, he can't convert it himself, so he needs a machine to do it for him.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, it'd be hard for them to play chess.
It would be hard for them to play chess. Um, Except there is the whole life size chess
Mm, Harry Potter style.
or Mall of America style.
Ooh, or Mall of America style. I forgot that's definitely a real thing. Uh,
That's a thing you've done.
no, yeah, I have. There are pictures of me doing that. Uh, yeah, that could work. Just every chess is big chess.
Mm-hmm. Which goes with the whole like everything is racing. So
Hmm.
somehow they've turned chess into racing.
I mean, there is speed chess,
Yeah.
which I gotta imagine would just be called chess in this world. Like
Mm-hmm.
you gotta assume it's
Or
speedy.
Lightning McQueen chess
Yeah,
because he is speed. Well, I think that's checkmate on that one.
king me. Am I right? I'm not. That's checkers. Uh, but next, the random topic generator has determined we should talk about puppets.
Okay.
This is very similar. What are their hands situation?
Yeah, but let's go with what I did earlier and say, well, we know we make a Cars world a terrifying hellscape at times, but it is a better world than ours. So
Sometimes.
puppets don't exist.
Yeah, I like that angle. My only angle was maybe like RC cars could be viewed as puppets.
Yeah, but that's just them's just toys.
Yeah, that's just a fully different thing.
Yeah.
But my only determination for that would be
I would love it if all puppets were remote controlled.
that would be cool and scary.
Then
Uh,
it'd be just like it would just be Metabots, except they're not sentient,
yeah, it'd just be tiny robots.
which is my whole thing.
Man, it sure is. Yeah, I'm good saying there are no puppets. So let's cut the strings on this one and let it fall to the ground limp and desolate.
And not as scary.
Not nearly as scary. And get our next topic, which is, man, theory again? No, I refuse. Cats. And I know what you're thinking, John. We've already decided that cats are Roombas.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about the musical cats.
Sure. But also, let's discuss my new opinion on cats.
The animal or the musical?
The animal.
Okay, go ahead.
I used to. I'm always gonna be a dog person, but
Sure.
I've always liked cats.
Mhm.
But I'm growing to view cats as not actually domesticated.
Oh yeah, there's like I think genuine scientific theory behind that.
Because, I mean, like, the whole thing is that they are, for sure, less domesticated because they've been more just tolerant of people being around, and that it's like a known thing that uh, their relationship with humans is less symbiotic.
Hmm.
But my cat loves to kill. That's
Sure.
its whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
if it had a thing, it's killing small things slowly.
Yeah, cats are just sort of tiny tigers that live in your house.
Mm-hmm.
More in a different way than dogs are like tiny wolves that live in your house. Dogs aren't really wolves. Cats are just kind of tigers.
Yeah, like dogs stopped being wolves at a certain point a long time ago. And even if you don't want to say tigers,
Yeah,
just big cats,
big cats. Any
which
sort of murdered wild cat.
that's like an actual term. They're big cats. and you're not allowed to have those because that they're not domesticated. But they're just big cats, like a mountain lion or a cougar, which are the same thing. They're just big cats that kill, except they kill bigger things.
Yeah, they're just more powerful, more able to kill you, is why
Mm-hmm.
you can't have them. And I think that all goes to say, John, are there like big Roombas?
Oh,
Because
boy.
that's horrifying.
Well, the thing is, the cats in that world are manufactured by the government.
Yeah, okay. Are you saying there are no cats then without no natural cats?
I'm saying that if there are lions, tigers, bears, except without the bears, they're just war machines.
Oh no.
They're unethical creations from a terrible system.
See, okay, I'm sort of imagining the transition from Roomba up to something big. I'm imagining two things.
Battle
One,
bots.
straight up, you got it in one was one of them. Two,
Yeah.
have you ever seen those videos where people just strap a knife to a Roomba uh, and
Yes.
like it has to find a balloon or they have to avoid it?
Yeah, I love the Mario Kartification of that, where it's just like, oh, you get a bunch of Roombas, put them in a room, they all have knives taped to them, and 3 balloons each.
Yeah, I was mostly bringing that one up because it's a endlessly funny thing to me to strap a knife to a Roomba. But I was mostly thinking of larger sized battle bots.
Yeah, because like that's one of the best ways to win battle bots is to just make them Roombas, and by that I mean you just get a large blade or something and you rotate it, and
Yeah.
it's just a rotating thing on wheels.
And like, I feel like it might be easy to think we're making them too powerful, but like, cats and big cats are like some of the most efficient killing machines on the planet. Like, they are like owls are some of the best like flying predators. When it comes to land predators, cats pretty much have it.
Yeah, yeah. If you are a creature that can basically hear and see someone's heart from hundreds of feet away, you're probably good at killing.
Yeah.
And if you spend most of your day asleep because you only need to eat once every now and then, and you can just wake up and fairly immediately find something to kill and eat, that's a strange but I guess empowered lifestyle.
Yeah, and like in a world where every living creature seems to have some sort of armored shell, like if we want to make them good killing machines, we got to give them like the big sledgehammer and rotating saw blades and flamethrowers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, it's no longer a cat. It's one of the things that makes me like cats a lot more. Dragons.
Wait, how do dragons make you like cats more? Did I just misunderstand
No,
what you were
yeah,
saying?
it's I intentionally let that be confusing.
Okay,
Uh in a lot of dragon rider style stories, they give dragons other qualities that aren't lizard like,
gotcha. Yeah,
and
okay.
oftentimes it's feline. I love a good dog dragon, but like I can't think of more than like one or two.
Yeah, like dog dragons are good for like stories where the dragon is like cool and your best buddy and stuff.
Hmm.
But like in a story where dragons are terrifying, like the
You
sort
make
of
them the predator, and when you think land predator, you think big cat.
yeah, and like even like the sort of intelligence of a cat, the sort of
Hmm.
sneakiness and like cunning of a cat, like that works really well for a dragon. I see
Hmm.
what you're talking about.
So yeah, dragons, a fake thing, make me like cats, a real thing, more.
Wow. That's fun. So in a way, if you really want to get transitive, dragons make you like Roombas more.
I mean, yeah, but that's because they both breathe fire.
Man, that'd be cool. Get that dirt out of here.
Mhm.
Uh, that would just make ash. But I was joking about talking about the musical cats. I don't really know much about the musical cats, so
All right, let's get real deep into it. Uh, the movie Cats. It done ruined it because the whole thing is there's a character who desperately wants affection, and
you've watched
they,
the Sideways video about this.
yeah, where and like the whole thing was like cats show affection by like grazing up against each other and like just contact. I don't think I don't think that's how Roombas do, because Roombas, their whole thing is if I touch something that like in any way prevents me from moving, I need to stop and go somewhere else.
Yeah,
So like that's one way in which Roombas aren't like cats, or that cats in the Cars world are far less affectionate.
which is sad considering how unaffectionate some cats are. Some cats are incredibly affectionate. I'm not going to sit here and slander cats.
My
Cats are
murder cat,
mostly wonderful creatures.
my murder cat doesn't really like to be pet
Hmm.
most of the time. Occasionally, murder cat will just like run up to you and then like bump against you, and then you pet for a few seconds, and then murder cat is done. Murder cat does like to cuddle at night, which is nice,
That's nice.
but for the most part, murder cat not that affectionate.
I feel like we've covered cats. So let's. Oh man, I super don't have one for this one. Stalk our next subject like prey. That was good enough. Oh, this one's for the Johns in the crowd. Engineering.
Haha. All right. So, engineering is far more literal.
Yeah.
It's all about engines. Engineers are doctors.
I mean, yeah, we've seen as we bring up a lot, Doc Hudson is a literal doctor of internal combustion.
Hmm.
So checks
Which
out to
means
me.
he's a doctor and an engineer.
Be cooler if his name was Engineer Hudson. No, one that doesn't work at all. Uh,
Inge Hudson.
ugh, hate that. But yeah, I don't have a ton about that. Like, I think it's interesting to think about if we don't make it literal to engines, like the difficulties of making everything able to hold a lot of cars instead of a lot of people,
Hmm.
like the difficulty inherent to that.
Well,
Uh,
we didn't talk about something you mentioned at the beginning, and
sure.
that's tables.
Okay.
Just the engineering for tables, everything you have to consider is it's got to be able to withstand so much more force. Because, like, you're a car, you're a person. One of those two things jumps on a table to, like, give a rousing speech, and you're fine. The other one crushes the table and
Yeah.
hurts everyone and everything, and splinters are everywhere. So, we've seen tables, and I'm pretty sure we've seen, like, interactions with tables. I gotta assume their tables are just so much stronger. They're built so much sturdier, even though it doesn't look like they are.
I mean, I think it's also fair to maybe assume that in this world they just don't jump up on tables very much.
Sure, but also, I have to imagine the opposite of that is true.
It is a movie, so it would be very dramatic and very cinematic for them to do that.
Yeah, and it's a cartoonish world, so everyone's reactions are going to be turned up to 11.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, someone wants to make a speech, instead of clinking a glass, they jump on the table. Now, does this happen every time? Of
No,
course not.
but
But it's going to happen often enough that it's going to be a problem if these can't support the weight of a car.
See, the issue I'm coming up to is like we've seen like tables at a bar, and like car even weight, if we take weight out of it, it just doesn't fit on that. Like forklift could do it, but forklift could do whatever we want it to.
Mm-hmm.
Forklift is our special buddy that makes podcasts possible.
Mm-hmm.
But unless it's like, a boardroom table or like a dinner table or something.
The lemons table.
Yeah, the lemons table is a good example. But that one, I look at that table and like in my mind, like I know that a car wouldn't be able to, drive on that table. But like if a car did it, I wouldn't notice that that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah. You wouldn't be thinking, that shouldn't be possible. You'd be thinking, oh, exciting car thing is happening.
Yeah. Like smaller tables, I would think that, but that one is big enough and cool enough looking that I would be fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's you're the engineer. You come up with this one.
All right.
Now, did you cut out or are you thinking?
I'm thinking,
Okay.
and then I got stuck on a word, and I'm like, that doesn't work. Why can't I think of a different word?
Let's design and then build a bridge over to our next topic. How about that? That work for you?
uh,
Engineer approved?
that exit felt pretty manufactured, but
Ooh,
let's do it.
that was good. That was good. Let's see. Okay. Pipe organs.
All right. Pipe organs are definitely a thing, but I think they may be organic.
They would look like a bunch of mufflers, would be the joke.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen a muffler cave.
God, what a horrifying bit that we gotta rewatch the Cars tunes at some point.
Yeah.
It's the only thing we haven't rewatched, but we'll get to that at some point. Yeah,
So yeah, that's a possibility. Is that there's just an organ,
and like the joke would be they'd all be mufflers and they would like play a thing, but like it would all be like backfiring and a bunch of smoke would come out. Would be
Mm-hmm.
how they made the music. That would be how it would be in the Cars verse.
It'd be like Phantom of the Opera, but like it's just a thing for everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there's one pipe organ in the world. It's in the muffler cave, and a spooky spider robot plays it because that's how they would play a piano type thing.
Now I'm feeling like we're glossing over my amazing joke of the organ.
We are.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. I feel good about that one. So let's play us out to our next one, which is, jeez, execution. This is a
we
weird
already
website.
talked about that.
Yeah, we have. We
talked about the they'd have to basically be cut in half.
We've talked about guillotines in detail. If you want to listen to that, it's one of the Moments in History episodes.
How do you lethally inject a car?
Yeah, lethal injection, electric chair, firing squad, like
electric chair I get because like they're just metal.
Yeah, but they got electricity in them, and I know we do too. But like, they're more able to have electricity in them.
Yeah, but you shock anything. Like we have electrical signals throughout our body.
Yeah, yeah.
You shock, and then it ruins the body for being able to process that. So like you just burn out the battery.
You just turn it up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I could get behind that. I want
to lethal injection. Do you like have to inject the tongue?
That would be difficult. I mean, okay, I am imagining it either the tongue, since it's the organic bit they can get to, or like I could see it being like put into their oil or gas or some sort of fluid that they have, like mechanical fluid,
But that doesn't feel like injection, despite the fact that, yeah, a part of cars is fuel injection.
I was going to bring that up and ask what it is.
It's just a computerized or digital way of, or electronic way of, like, putting the fuel into the system
Gotcha.
rather than having it like mechanically. It's weird.
Sure.
Basically, you need a computer in your car to be able to do that.
Fascinating. I mean, I do like the idea because execution is horrific and should be horrific and viewed as horrible.
Hmm.
Uh, the idea of them like hacking their computer to like make it accept, instead of fuel, this time it's, man, my mind went to nitroglycerin, and then the car blows up.
I mean, you say that, and then I just think, oh boy, we've seen lethal injection. It's in cars too.
They put the fuel in them, the all in oil, and then they
Blow them up.
use a microwave emitter to blow them up. Yeah, I guess. I
Lucas, can we
guess.
talk about how that was just a thing in uh, ECS?
You have talked about this on the podcast before, how someone just took apart a microwave and made a targeted microwave gun with it.
It's just a microwave gun
It's
that
bad.
radiates things in front of it.
It's a bad thing that someone was allowed to create. In college, maybe. High school, maybe don't let them make the microwave gun.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, let's see. Firing squad. All I've got is it would take quite a lot of bullets. I imagine. Like I don't
Yeah,
think
because they miss a lot.
they miss a lot, and I don't think one bullet would take a car down when it comes down to it. I guess it could, but like I think it's less guaranteed than taking a human down with one bullet.
Yeah. Then again, like my dad likes to say, if you get the wrong gun, you're not going to be able to kill someone with that.
Whew.
My dad bought me a gun for like to celebrate my 21st birthday because at the time, carry conceal required that you be 21. But nope, that's not anymore. You can just have hidden guns in Kentucky. Um, but yeah, he was pointing out some guns. I was like, I don't really want a gun. But I was humoring my dad.
Sure.
And I pointed a gun. I was like, that looks fun. Like, well, that's a pea shooter. That's for like target practice. I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, you're not going to be able to kill anyone with that. I
Great.
don't want to kill anyone, Dad.
Wonderful to hear. So yeah, I just imagine
Bigger bullets.
bigger bullets, maybe automatic rifles, so they can really make sure they get the job done. Again, horrific, but execution should be viewed as such. Could you hang a car? I think we maybe talked about this in that same episode, but I don't remember what we decided.
Yes, but no.
Would
The,
anything happen?
the thing about hangings is that it's not about like strangling you.
Breaking your
It's
neck,
about
yeah.
breaking your neck. And if you just have like a steel cable in the middle of a car and then you drop it, you're going to break the car.
Yeah, it won't be good for the car, certainly.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can hang it, but it's not going to like be out of breath, I don't think. Cuz how are you going to strangle a car?
Yeah, and I imagine you would have to do it from a much greater height, almost in my
Mhm.
head, because like a tiny drop, like that'd be bad for the car, but like you need it to sort of get to terminal velocity in my head to really do some damage.
I don't think you need to go that fast. I think it's just you drop it and you have a thing and it's like you drop it for more than a few feet cuz like you hit a pothole, you're breaking your car.
Sure, okay.
You do a jump and you're not like your suspension's not built for it and your car's done.
I guess I'm worried that, and this did happen quite often in hangings, that they wouldn't immediately die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Because
so
executions are horrific and they should be horrific.
yeah, we're not going to sugarcoat them. So yeah, I guess yeah, we don't need to do that. Oh, let's kill this topic because I'm sad now.
Yep.
And go over to hotels.
Okay. Well, we know the Cozy Cone
Yeah.
exists, but the Cozy Cone isn't a hotel. Want to know what that is?
Is a motel?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is the difference between a hotel and a motel?
The
Like,
actual answer is the
like the
rooms are like the entrance and exit is outside.
outside. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it. It's every hotel is a motel unless it's just super fancy and overdone.
Well, we have seen the Grand Fuselage in Planes, Fire, and Rescue. So
But we haven't seen where they stay to sleep.
yeah, I think you're right. Actually, that reads to me more as like a lounge area with
Mm-hmm.
like cabins
Yeah.
elsewhere. So yeah, I guess we haven't seen a hotel, or if we have, I don't remember it.
And if
That's
I'm
probably
wrong,
the more
please let me
likely.
know.
Yeah, it's the more likely answer. We've seen lots of motels, or we've seen a motel, but I don't know about a
Mm-hmm.
hotel.
We've had a very heavily featured motel.
Wait, what's the thing that Sally wants to redo? Uh, is it the
The
No, it's also a
theater?
motel. The Wheelwell Motel is the thing that she drives Lightning up to.
Oh, I thought that
Uh,
was a theater.
no, it's a. She just wants to expand her motel uh, empire, I guess. Which sure,
What a
that's
mogul.
yeah.
Those big
She's
city folk coming to small towns and just taking over.
hashtag girl boss. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're getting we're getting there, John. And I forgot that we have to do the pun. So let's check out of the hotel and go over to canoes.
All right. So canoes are people.
Yeah, and
Are
that's
they
tough.
also a means of transportation that's fun and exciting?
I would go back one and say canoes are alive. I don't know that they're people.
Oh? So they're like cattle.
Well, like we see a lot of like non-powered, more simple vehicles be animals.
Mm-hmm.
So my first thought was otters, but otters can go on land. I just like the way they float.
Well,
Boats are tough
yeah.
because
Um,
very few
here's
things live exclusively in water, but only float on top of it.
here's rough thing.
Yeah,
Where do you see canoes mostly?
river,
Mm-hmm. What animal is that size and is in rivers?
crocodile.
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes.
So canoes are just crocodiles?
Oh god, now we have to figure out how.
Do we though?
Well, how
This
did
is a Lightning McQueen round.
sure, but
We figured out one thing. We don't need to go deeper.
I mean, we spent 10 minutes crafting the perfect frog. We can at least figure out how canoes murder things.
Okay. Um, do we count the oars? Because crocodiles, they go on get on land.
I think yeah, I think like oars are not intrinsically part of canoes, but they are how canoes get around.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
I think yeah.
oars are a thing, and that's how they also get onto land.
Yeah, I can easily imagine a canoe. This is a weird statement I'm about to make. Doing a death spiral a la crocodile. Uh, I don't know about easily, but where I'm having trouble is how it attaches itself to its prey, uh, and or where its teeth would be.
Well, there is always the terrifying option of similar to Monster House, the wood boards just like break apart and are teeth.
Mm. And I guess now that I think about it, this is maybe a stupid realization. There are like mouths on cars, so we could just slap it wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Just the front, probably. Throw the eyes up there too.
We could do pointed front because also crocodile.
Yeah, I do like that. Okay, yeah, you just go up.
Crocodiles
They
are a bit like spearfish.
they latch on. And again, crocodiles are so scary, man.
They
They
drag you to the depths.
they drag you and spin you until you drown and get and die, and then they eat you. And
Yeah,
that's canoes, baby.
that's canoes for use.
Wow,
Let's paddle on away from this
that's what I was
terrifying
gonna say.
monster.
Let's see. You want to do one more, maybe?
Yeah.
How about this? You remember the thing I said at the beginning about how I had a different website?
Mm-hmm.
How about we do one of those?
Let's do one of those.
Just to flip it on its head, right at the end, we do have on worldofcarsfandom.com, there is also a random page functionality, which usually on wikis are really easy to find. I had to search for like 15 minutes to find this button.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Give me
but
that random wiki of the week.
click, and it has opened up. Oh, that's perfect. It has opened up Car Lord. Now, Car
Is this
Lord.
Star Lord?
Car Lord is a character from Guardians of the Galaxy Lap 2.
All right, so it's cardians and not cardigans. So that's
That's good. Yeah, it should be that. I'm clicking on Guardians of the Galaxy Lap 2 to figure out if this is just a fan made thing or if this is something they've officially done. Uh, nope. Man, this is maybe our most stretch at canon in a long time, but Guardians of the Galaxy Lap 2 is a fictional movie. It was published on Instagram by Pixar Cars as an advertisement for Cars 3 and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
mm,
So this is based on a single Instagram post, but it was made by the official account, so I think we can count it as canon that this movie exists in the Cars verse.
all right, all right, all right. Uh,
No, we don't see any of them,
what
unfortunately.
what is different about Drax and Gamora?
Well, I can tell you their names in this world, but I see where you're going. Real
Is it
quick, I just
Trux
want
and Carmora?
very close. I just want to read all their names because they're funny. It's Car Lord, Trax, which I like Trucks more actually. I think you did a better job. Carmora, you got that. Socket. They don't go into Raccoon, which is cowardly of them. Uh, and then Baby Scoot.
Baby Scoot.
They don't even do Mantis. I guess she was introduced in this movie, so they don't have her in there. But it'd be Vantis, and we know that.
Mm-hmm.
But you did raise a very good question, which I didn't even consider. Drax and Gamora are visibly, well, they're all visibly aliens except Car Lord.
But the thing that makes Gamora and Drax visibly aliens is that they're green and then like gross green.
Yeah, with like, are those
He's
tattoos on Drax, or are those just like
yeah.
part of his physiology?
I think they're tattoos, but they're more like scarring too, because it's definitely a textured tattoo.
Yeah, and
And same with Gamora.
yeah, it goes along with like his warlord kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, changing a car's color is so mundane that one of the character's whole gimmicks is he does it every time he's on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe it's just that sort of tattooing, like
Okay.
textured wise, would be it. Like it's
But
more
then,
pronounced.
what about the tuners?
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
say this, but then we do have people in our world, our real world, who like do body augmentation to extremes.
yeah, that's
So
true.
maybe it's like that.
And when it comes down to it, it's just when you look at Gamora, you're like, that's a lady, that's green.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's okay if they mostly look like a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I that's all I got is like textured areas that are raised in weird ways.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And maybe like I could see like maybe the pupil area or like the whites of their eyes are maybe a slightly different color to because like that's a very normal thing, a like
Mm-hmm.
standardized thing. that could be made alien. Maybe the color of their tongues is a little different.
They just paint the inside of their mouths.
Yeah, sure. I like that. There is a raccoon. So,
Their tires could also be different.
yeah, tires would be good. John, what about Socket Saccoon?
Socket Saccoon?
Listen, if we're not going to keep the alliteration, then what's the point of this?
Socket Spittoon.
Okay, and he's a spittoon. Sorry.
Yep.
All raccoons are spittoons. That's the official stance of the Kachat. And Scoot is a tree. There are
Yep.
trees, so
There are trees.
so we're fine.
I mean, I guess he's a wooden vehicle, but
Yeah, since he
Yeah.
needs to be humanoid or carinoid. Jesus, what are we doing? Yeah, he's just a car, but he's trees.
he's a tree car. Car, tree car. He's a tree car.
That's the end
All
of the
right.
episode, right?
Yep.
Do we need to do one for Car Lord or Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, he's just a regular
No, I'm saying, do we need to do a dumb exit pun?
car.
That we're rolling credits on this one. This one was slightly worse than the first one, but still pretty good in terms of Marvel movies,
And-
movies.
Let's get out of that galaxy and come back down to Earth. Talk about the things we say at the end of the show.
Hell yeah. Thanks so much for listening. Sorry this one was a little slapdash, but maybe it had a fun energy to it. I don't know. I had fun doing it, so hopefully that came through. If you have things for us to talk about, listen, like I said, we're not out of ideas, but I think after the past hour or so, you can tell that we're not flush with them either at the moment. So please, any idea you've got, it can be as stupid as you want. It can be, hell, you can ask us to revisit something. We may not do it, but you can ask us. And you can do that by sending us an email at our email address, which is thekachat@gmail.com. Or you can tweet at us, give us a follow, maybe DM us. I'm not really sure on Twitter. And our Twitter account is @thekachat. Both of those have no hyphen in there. And now John says his part of the outro.
Remember to tell anyone and everyone you think might be the least bit interested in this kooky, quirky, strange little podcast. And
Don't tell them to listen. Don't tell them to listen to a different episode, not this one.
And until next time, remember to flow like a Cadillac
And sting like a beamer.